walking. Yes, indeed, I'm walking. Oh, yeah, just moving. I'm walking. Thank you for the company. I'm walking, I'm walking, I'm walking, I'm walking. So happy to be walking. Happy to be walking. Thank you for the company. Walking. Yes, indeed, I'm walking. Oh, yeah, just moving. I'm walking. Thank you for the company. I'm walking, I'm walking, I'm walking, I'm walking. So happy to be walking. Happy to be walking. Thank you for the company. Walking. Yes, indeed, I'm walking. Oh, yeah, just moving. I'm walking. Thank you for the company. I'm walking, I'm walking, I'm walking. Hey y'all,
Hey y'all,
so
come on for the walk. Uh-oh, me and the camera runs, me and the camera runs. Ha ha, yes indeed, great raw isn't. It's a little cloudy here. Great raw isn't, y'all. Yes, the clouds are out. I couldn't hardly see raw. Ha ha ha. More like Raw's ain't. Let me take out some sky. There we go. No, I'm not a professional camera person. People. Ha ha. Elderly. My background. I did screenplay writing. I took 2 courses at the Frederick Douglass Creative Arts Center. 96 and Broadway, where you could walk like straight down to the, I want to say West Side Highway, but there's water over there. I can't think of it now. I used to be all over that place. I can't remember why. Hey, great raw isn't, y'all. Please like, comment, share, tell a friend, tell an uncle, tell an auntie, tell a cousin. The old lady who walks slow and steady for 45 minutes is here. Oh my FB camera is a little crooked. How y'all doing? I don't know how you, what you call it, seniors, up and mobile, old people, or the insult like the kids give us, old heads, which would be a compliment if they used the knowledge and wisdom provided by the old heads. But when they just say old heads and we're going to ignore them, I think that's insulting. Hey y'all, hey. Yes. Glad to be in the land of the living. You know, that saying, as I got older, I totally appreciate it. But I heard it through my coat and my coat grandmother. Now, she used it as giving credence to the force that is outside of herself. You know, the entity. I I use it because this body that you see walking slow, that if you stick with from Monday to Friday, walking slow, taking a hand up, putting her hands on her hips, believe it or not, this little simple gesture is a core tightening exercise. You heard me say it before. Johanna said, at least take one hand off, do the core, but when you do it, you feel your core tightening. I don't know how y'all do it. I watched my grandmother, and it's so uneven. She got in her lounge chair, put her feet up, and she was good. She was shaped like a box on top of stilts. But she had no problem. Hold on a second, y'all. I have no air circulating. Give me a minute. Oh, I do have it, but it's on low. Let me take it up a bit. I'm like, I'm not feeling nothing, y'all. All right, all right, all right. Ooh, yeah. That's why fall is here. We get more step in the pep. But now, even this gesture, when you see me doing this, it's strengthening my core. I have to use this to balance myself. No, I ain't no coach. I ain't telling you what to do. Don't think of Bobby doobie me. I'm just an old lady conversating, walking on a treadmill. And I do it every morning, and my body is happy. My body is happy. And as I said, these little gestures here, core tighten right up. And then, when it gets too much, then I put it here. And it's still all core tightening. I have to squeeze my stomach. I'm walking on a conveyor belt. Call it treadmill if you want to. But it's a conveyor belt. And the main thing is balance. Even when you see people running on a conveyor belt, the main thing is balance. And the balance is in the core. Uh-oh. So, you may look at it and say, oh, she's moving so slow, she's back in the top, as people who don't like to exercise do. But I tell you, at 64, soon to be 65, I'm amazed with myself. Now, I know y'all run back and forth to the doctors and talk about God did it. That's why I don't have to exercise. Somebody told me one time, why don't I have to exercise? That's why God made doctors. I was like, I'm sure there's a logic in there for you, but it goes right over my head. Like I said, if you're in a car accident, a doctor can put you back together. If you have some kind of something like that, they're wonderful. But when you're just going through phases of life, like for me, just me, if your hip hurt and you have surgery, now maybe your hip don't hurt from the bone because they replace it, but it's hurt from them disconnecting the bone from the, and the cut. So now it's hurting, but not from its original. And when I looked at the bone, just me, not, listen, I'm just talking, this is how I'm doing me. I heard all my life how fragile bones get as you get older. And I said, wait a minute here now. The muscles protect the bone. They keep the bone where it's supposed to be. They keep the grizzled stuff from rubbing together because the muscles hold them in place and shit. Now I'm just going from what I know. So, what it does, what I've said is, I'm going to just keep working on keeping my muscles too. So I'm depending on my muscles, not the bones. You say, oh, these fat thighs. No, these thick thighs, honey, muscles come through. And this core holds everything up. So the weight is not on my hip. The weight is not on my knees. And the weight is not on my feet. But the weight is right here in my core. And it's awesome. Okay? I remember the first time, because I think I always engaged my core because I always exercised, but I never really focused on it until I started ice skating. And every time I got off those skates, I felt like I was walking on a cloud. My core had to engage to keep me balanced on those skates. And it just took on all the weight. And I feel like this now. The more my core is becoming engaged, the lighter I feel. I don't have no weight on my hip. I don't have no weight on my knees. I don't have no weight on my ankles. This is holding up all of this. Now, how can you not wake up in the morning and exercise? I can't think of anything else to do. I love my core being engaged. When I move, I don't move, I turn in my core. So I'm not throwing out my hip. I ain't throwing out my back. That was another thing. Whew. When I was younger, I said, these old peoples, they just throwing out their back. Because that's how I got my extra work. They throw out their back, I get a call. And I'm saying to myself, first of all, they don't exercise, anything like that. So when you make that sudden movement, that sudden move, it's a wrap. So I said, oh, I don't want that. And I had back problems. Could have been from water too, but let's move on. And I was like, wow, I don't want that. And I've been striving for years to keep my back muscles strong. Just like the two old ladies I tell you from LA Fitness, but go back and look at the other videos. So I want to say thank you to Diane. I lost Joan because I stopped tagging. It took so much time for me to tag, and sometimes it would frustrate me so much before the walk. So my apologies. And as I said, I tag Yvonne because Yvonne she's an East Coast girl. And she's in Midwest. She's been there for a while in the West. And like I told y'all, I know sometimes as you get older, you say, was I really there? Did that really happen? And if no one's there telling Yvonne, yes, I'm sure Kathy Foster's there telling you, yep, Yvonne, we hung out. Yep, we did. Now, I hope I'm not getting you into trouble if you in the Ku Klux Klan country or the it's a white supremacist area. I don't want to get you in no trouble, girl. I love you. So, that's why I tag Yvonne. And Like I said, Diane has been with me from the beginning. Her in Canada, she still shares my videos. I love you, Diane. So, and I had Mary, but in my self-awakening, it wedged us. And it happens. It happens. I know. I had to say, well, why you ain't talking to her? And say, in my head, well, that don't make no sense. You're allowed to have the beliefs and the faith that you want to and still maintain a friendship. If it is a true friendship. I thought it was a connection of artists, not a connection of cults. I was wrong. I've been wrong before. I've been wrong before. But how can you not exercise your body, especially something so simple? Do you see how I'm doing core strengthening stuff? Oh, she's walking slow. You don't get it. Even this right here, I have to tighten my core to do even this. I have to tighten my core to do this. And I have to tighten my core to do this. Yes, I have to tighten my core to do all the things, girl. All the things. This is definitely, the core is engaged. Totally engaged. Keeping my balance. Weeble wobbles, but they don't fall down, honey. And since I've been walking, I don't even wobbles no more, honey. These muscles is doing what they do. Now, I got some kind of notice, but you know I'm old. But FB said something about me, copyright infringement. Now, I'm trying to kind of very careful not to. Other than when you allow them, they allow you to use their music. But you can't sing the artist's song on Facebook, even 30 seconds, 20 seconds, 10 seconds of the song. You can't sing because you're infringement of copyright. But you can go to FB, get that same song by the artist, and attach it to your video, and that's acceptable. Because FB is promoting the song, I'm promoting the song too. Why? Because FB is promoting the artist, or YouTube promoting the artist. I'm promoting the artist too. Somebody may want to go and get the record if you lay it on your videos on YouTube or Facebook. Somebody may want to go and get the video if they hear 10 seconds of me singing the song. But it's a strike against me. So then I said, no, that can't be. That's totally ridiculous. It has to be the opening that I use for my song that I made up. That if you go back and look at the old videos that I was singing, literally you watch me make the song while I was walking. Then while I was walking, I told you how I laid everything down. The tracks on GarageBand. Remember I got the new computer? So how in the ham sandwich with cheese, lettuce, and tomatoes? Am I copyrighting, taking something from something? That's how I don't know how you old people don't walk. Stuff like that pisses me the hell off. I was thinking that maybe we would go back to bike riding, but I gotta come up with a song and put it on rotation for us to get through, because I'm definitely not talking while bike riding. I don't have that kind of energy. I am 65. Even slow pedaling. I'd rather put the energy into pedaling and the activity and have the music. Now I know I didn't get in trouble with the ukulele music. I know I didn't get in trouble with the ukulele. So I'm trying to think of songs that I can make up, that I could use, and for the bike ride. Now for the bike ride, I may bring us back to the half hour. I'm not bike riding for 45 minutes. But it's something to be working on. I have to get the music first. Because it was horrible last time. And I don't even know, if you go back to FB and YouTube, even though I asked for permission and everything, honey, in FB you see the video all sliced up. Sliced up. Then if you on the YouTubers, oh, YouTubers is different. It just sends me a message saying, you know you ain't getting no money if this video takes off, right? So, that was the bike thing. So, once I solved that problem, you know, maybe finding someone, because I liked jazz and biking, that I liked. Now, I didn't get in any trouble with that. Did I? I don't know. See, it depends upon the day, what people who go over the videos and try to look for you to steal people's stuff. It depends upon the situation. You know, like, I'm thinking like cops. You have to catch a certain amount of people in order to, you know, like the cops got to give out a certain amount of tickets. You have a quota. So, that's what I'm thinking. Oh, water. Okay, can I stop it over here? I can stop it over here too. Water. So happy to be walking. Happy to be walking. Thank you for the company. Walking, yes indeed, I'm walking. Oh yeah, just walking. I'm walking. Thank you for the company. I'm walking. So happy to be walking. Happy to be walking. Thank you for the company. Walking,
oh yeah, just humble me, I'm walking. Thank you for the company. I'm walking, I'm walking, I'm walking, I'm walking. So happy to be walking, happy to be walking. Thank you for the company. Walking, yes indeed, I'm walking. Oh yeah, just humble me, I'm walking.
Hey y'all!
Thank you for the company. I'm walking, I'm walking,
I
I'm
am
walking.
curled up in my head, which for me is a wonderful place to visit. I don't visit, I'm there. Ooh, child. This fan is giving everything. Yes, clothes is sticking and everything. Everything. Giving me sweat. Just like I like it. I started to sing a song, but I was like, ooh, no. Instead of taking it as a compliment to its creator, I'll be looked at as a theft and a thief. And I was thinking about that when I went in the bathroom. I was thinking about my last corporate job I worked. Hated it. I liked it in the beginning until I saw the monthly newsletter where the factories in Arkansas and Alabama at that time, I'm going back to the 80s, used to have Halloween parties and everybody was trying to out blackface the other ones. You know, you had Aunt Jemima, you had the guy with the wig and the ghetto box and the gold chains, you know, Uncle Ben, the Bojangles, and they would have all these contests. So once I saw that, it kind of killed my spirit. Now, of course, I took all that to the Department of Labor and said, what the hell is going on? I'm out of here. And they gave me unemployment, but they kept my pictures. That's back in the 80s. I didn't have copies of them. I was at the Department of Labor. I said, make copies and give them back to me. And she says, well, our copy is down. Come back tomorrow. And then when I came back the next day to get the pictures, they didn't have them anymore. But why should I be concerned about that? I'm getting unemployment. I was like, I'm concerned about it because I was going to go for a whole lawsuit. I should have went to a lawyer first, but that was in the 80s. Why is it kept? White men lawyers do not like suing other white men lawyers when it comes to racism or sexism. They think they're breaking the bro code. He's not upset when he loses something like that because he hasn't broken the bro code. And I found that out a couple of times. The next time it was when I went after the town of Greenwich, won a whole lawsuit and wanted to take it further and couldn't find a lawyer who would go after the town of Greenwich, even though I had the findings from the Department of Justice. They wouldn't take it. It was a bro code. I'm sure they just made a phone number and said, you know, somebody's trying to come in there and sue y'all. And then I've seen it many times in town of British. They just pay off. And then it's the bro code. And you say, oh, we'll go to a white woman lawyer. No. She got the rib code. She doesn't like going after her, someone looks like her husband, her mate, her father, her uncle, for racism, even sexism. So it's not easy. They're not doing it. So when I worked there, I was disgusted. I should have just left. But finally, Barney, I remember his name. I think, oh yeah, also, yep. Also at that time, my sister had been set on fire by her boyfriend and was in the hospital. And literally, I just came back from vacation, came in Monday, left Monday to help her in the hospital. And we were sick of each other anyway. So, when I came back, like 3 days, I had to block everybody, blah, 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 go back to the old tapes, it's probably in there somewhere. Bonnie called me in, and he said, Vicki, I'm gonna have to let you go. And I remember looking at him and saying, thank you so much, Bonnie. Thank you. I think I hugged him. I hated it. After I saw what they really thought about us, I hated it. Every day coming in there was a freaking nightmare for me because they had already objectified me. Once you make somebody an object, what else? I mean, you can do a lot of things to them. I hated it. So since I was in corporate before, I said, okay, Bonnie, let me just sit here in your office, get the security guard, so he can watch me pack up my box and stuff, and then walk me out the door. So Bonnie looked at me and said, really, Vicki? You gonna do that? I said, what? I said, listen, just go through protocol. So y'all know I ain't taking nothing out here. I ain't taking no hidden secrets, no recipes, no how you put a button on a shirt and how you cut the collar. I ain't taking no secrets. And Bonnie looked at me and said, Vicki, I ain't even worried about that. He didn't say it like that. He said, no worries. And I hugged him again. I couldn't get my shit in that box fast enough. I couldn't. So you say, oh, you did that after only 1 year? No. That was my first year. I had only been at job 3 months when that shit hit me. And I was like, oh no. And I made it through the whole year trying to make sure it doesn't happen again. Went to Human Services. Said, no, you can't do this. No, this is, you have African Americans up here in the North. That's the South bullshit. That's that cult territory. Where they're allowed to do stuff, fuck stuff, and then all of a sudden they're forgiven. So, then the year came back around, because my sister, I went away to the Poconos, and when I came back, so that was around Thanksgiving, and we had already gotten, before I left to go to the Poconos, we had already gotten in the monthly newsletter. And there they were. There they were. Aunt Jemima, Uncle Ben, Bojangles, ghetto guy with the afro and the boom box. And they always won. That's how you know it's them. Because they're always winners in the costume part of it. Great old time down there in Alabama, in Arkansas, in the factories. Probably little heads, African Americans, hanging from the ropes. Everybody sitting around clapping hands, having a good time. But I said that to say, here's the difference. When I worked for the telephone company, well, I know how they did. I saw how they did, so I never left anything there. I saw how that fancy plantation was one. That wasn't an enslavement camp. That was a plantation. You come and go and work. It wasn't an enslavement compound. You come back and forth to work. You had to show passes, everything. Have tags hanging off you. Swiping stuff all over the place. And when you left, you emptied your locker and they went through it like you was taking telephone wires and sticking them down your damn tampons. I kept saying to myself, but what could they possibly have in there? They can't be stupid enough to take a headset. You can buy a headset. What could they possibly have? They would go through them people's stuff with a fine-tooth comb. That's why I never left nothing there. I was not going through that humiliation. You ain't shaking out my clothes and my shoes. I mean, what the fuck am I taking, a switch? That's the way it was. When I left the visiting nurse service, I thanked for the telephone company I'd gotten the job. The supervisor just said, you know, Vicki, I had my box. I've been there long enough. I had my shoes, 2 pair of shoes, 1 heel, 1 flat. Had my sneakers. Either walk in with my sneakers, go home, depends upon if I'm going out. So I had like a whole situation going there. So when I left there, of course the supervisor said, and I said, no problem. Go through the box. I don't know what the fuck you think I want to take. Maybe patient's information. Maybe that's where it was. Identity theft. Could be. And I was like, not a problem. Look. Look. Then, when I worked for ARC, we had to do, I don't know why, you had to do the inventory, and you had to do an exit interview. You had to do an exit interview. And of course, they looked to see what you was taking out. Client information, they were mostly concerned about. And then I told y'all, on the first job I ever had in my life, at the Brooks Hotel, how Mr. Brooks said he went to this faithful employee's house who got very sick. He just wanted to see how she was doing and making sure. And he said when he opened the door and walked in, the first thing he saw was his motel curtains. He said when he went in the room, he saw the spread, and she was laying underneath the sheets, and on the side of her bed was one of his glasses from the motel. He said he fired her. I laughed. For stealing. He fired her for stealing. I never forgot that. So I'm not taking home, nothing than other you told me to take home to study. You have these booklets, these worksheets and stuff like that. That's what I take home. You make extra copies of different forms, especially if you have to fill them out. And a lot of times we had to carry them with us. So it was easy for me to grab some forms from home, especially if I wasn't going into the office. But I got rid of all that shit after I left the job. Now everybody's work that has work knows that. I was listening to California Dreaming, and she did an expose on Elizabeth Holmes. She dug in with, okay, Roseanne is a little narrow-minded, but I like her, and did a whole expose. And when you left Theranos, they wanted everything back. And they almost had you sign you signed the confidentiality form to work there. But then when you were leaving, you had to sign all these forms. You had to return everything. Everything. If she found out, or they found out you had one, them lawyers was on you like you would not believe. That's why she got away with it for so long and made so many millions of dollars. No one talked. Under threat of going against the privacy laws. And she was just running a con. So you tell me a whole United States government don't care if you take home top secret, classified documents, put them in the basement, show them to your friends, sell a few on eBay, sell a few to different countries that's trying to get at you. Oh, they don't use that now, but they did. But if they did, when they come back around, we got them. But he never believed he was president. He believed he was made king. See, Obama was president. And they don't want him to be like Obama. So they wanted him to be king, and he called himself king. So he said, I'm still king. I didn't lose the election. I'm on vacation. But I got to maintain the income, and I got all these documents. They ain't going to come and get them because they scared of me. Now let's see what I could do. See, it blew me away when I read that he started getting millions of dollars to his campaign the minute the FBI came in there and took out those documents. I said to myself, who want those documents so bad that they want him to be in control and get those documents back and get more? A foreign country? Obviously no one who is for the United States of America. That filth party, GOPQ/conservative Tea Party. Trash. Trash terrorists. reminded y'all about the Coca-Cola Pepsi debacle. When the African American executives or scientists or whatever stole the formula for Coke and went to Pepsi trying to sell it, and Pepsi called Coke and said, I got 3 nuts down here. Trying to sell us your formula, they don't know. We conquer the market together. We block and we tackle anybody else trying to get up. How these educated Negroes didn't know that? Well, the commercials used to always say they're against each other. So that's that whole party. So if you're wondering where everybody getting all their fast money and stuff from, how they bolstering all this, how all this money running through that filthy terrorist organization, GOPQ/conservative/Tea Party /POSs/terrorists/attackers of democracy, decency. Decency. Decency, y'all. No decency. No decency. It's the archives. So now you have, let me see. When I came in, I remember Kennedy. I remember Johnson. I remember Nixon. I think after Nixon came, oh man, I forgot that one. I want to say Jimmy Carter. Then Reagan. It's like the terrorist organization that's running as a political party would fuck shit up, and then everybody would have to come in and clean up. They mess up. And that's messed up. So who was Jimmy Carter? Reagan, Bill Clinton, Daddy Bush. Oh shoot. Who was after Daddy Bush? Boy Bush? Ha ha! WGDF Bush. I'm all out of order, all out of line. But something like that. Too many times of them, they get up there and screw up stuff. And now I understand how the cults played a big part in that. Ooh, this fan feels dope. If I could taste this fan, I would say it tastes delicious. Whew. Tuck in your gut. Up, yep, tuck in your gut. Tuck in your elbow. Let's do 10. Neither up nor down like a pump. Like you're pumping up this muscle. Just pump it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. When I was making my bed and having to lift that mattress, I lifted just like this. And I was like, that's that muscle that I need. When I lift up my pots, that's how I lift. When I'm lifting up the detergent, this is how I lift. If I'm lifting up a soda, this is how I lift. So for me, this is the muscle that I want to keep pumped up. Tuck in your elbow, squeeze your gut, neither up nor down. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Whew. Yes! The sweat is coming down. The sweat is coming down. Yeah, Yeah, y'all, yeah. Whew. So, I feel good, and I feel tight. And that's what it's all about.
Company.
Please like, comment, share. Tell an uncle, tell an auntie, tell a cousin, tell a friend.
Walking. Yes,
Yeah.
indeed, I'm walking. Oh yeah, just moving. I'm walking. Thank you for
I said, there's no way
I'm walking.
this song.
I'm walking. I'm walking. So happy to be walking. Happy to be walking.
I laid the vocal.
Thank you for
I laid the music. I laid the track. It took me an hour and 3 YouTube videos.
walking.
Like, comment, share.
Yes, indeed, I'm walking. Oh yeah, just moving. I'm walking.
We did it, y'all.
Thank you for the company. I'm walking. I'm walking. I'm walking. I'm walking.
Can y'all see the
So
sweat?
happy to be
Is that enough sweat for y'all?
happy
Oh.
to be walking.
Oh, I wiped it. You was too.
Thank you for the company.
I'm sweating. I'm sweating. I'm really, really sweating. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. I better not do that. I'll get a notice saying I done took somebody's music.
Walking. Yes, indeed, I'm walking. Oh yeah, just moving. I'm walking.
You see how I left all the stuff in on the end? Like the even me said. I was like, there's no way this song can be. Is that a compliment? Were they trying to tell me someone had used my song? Let me stop. Oh, let me show the people. Let me show the people. You know, so, oh, she said she be drinking water, but I don't be seeing no water in there. She be acting, she be gulping and gulping. Ain't no water in there. Y'all remember I put a little lemon in my water. I don't know, I get some kind of, they call it something gut when it's just plain water. And it's cool-ish because I take it out of the refrigerator. I wrap it and put it down here. Hey, thanks for coming on the walk. I got love. Hey, thanks for coming on the walk. Hey, Izzo. Izzo, our world famous illustrator, is in the room. Y'all thinking about writing a book? Hook up with Izzo. Yes. Y'all need to. Great children's book illustrator. Always working, always working. So if you do with her, she'll get your stuff out. Good. I'm walking, so happy to be walking, Hey, Zo. Yes. I missed him. I saw on her Facebook that she was taking a little time off. Winning all those awards, that means you're hard working. Now, sometimes, especially in this country, especially according to the color of your skin, you can get awards for doing nothing. But most of us have to do something to get awards. These are so funny. She put up memes and everything on as a talking. I love it, girl. Let's get this down. Easy IO. Children's book illustrator. Ha ha ha! Thanks for the love. Okay. When the water goes in, the air goes up. Sometimes no water will go in until you get that air out. It's like a bubble that's stopping it. Ease up. Yes, indeed, I'm walking. I'm walking. Yes, I'm walking. I'm walking. Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. I feel good, and I hope you feel good too. You have a wonderful day. Please like, comment, share. He's all, yeah. Thanks for coming on the walk. Have a great day. Like, comment, share, subscribe. I'll see you tomorrow. Thanks for coming on the walk. Hey, thanks for coming.